Brad, it's good to have you on the show. Normally, U.S. senators nominate candidates for a full term. The president then chooses one of them and nominates for the Senate. Why'd that process break down this time? What's going on?
Well, each senator has three commissioners who are lawyers who serve in this process of making recommendations for names to be forwarded to the White House. The commissioners for Senator Johnson and Senator Baldwin could not come together on an agreement on any names to forward. So they've termed it or deemed it a failed commission. So when that doesn't happen, when that happens, then the president could nominate someone, but the process the Senate uses is to have the blue slips returned by each senator in the state in order to have your name, in order to have you be considered by the Judiciary Commission for the nomination. So that kind of breaks that process. When that doesn't happen, the other way to do it is for the Attorney General to appoint an interim U.S. Attorney. That becomes necessary because an acting U.S. Attorney can't just sit there forever. There are deadlines on that. So we've gone this route. Doesn't mean that it has to stay interim. I'm optimistic that maybe we can go the formal process by the time we get to the end of my 4 months here, or the other possibility is if a majority of the judges in the district agree to retain me and keep me on, then I can continue to serve. So I'm going to work hard for 4 months here to try to prove that I'm here to do the right thing. I'm here to remember that I'm a public servant. We're going to check our politics at the door, and we're going to try to do the right thing and go get the bad guys.
We have Brad Schimel on the talk and text line. Mr. Schimel, as you take over as top federal prosecutor covering Milwaukee and the eastern third of our state, we're hearing that prosecutors and defense attorneys for Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan are in discussions about a possible plea deal. She's accused of helping an undocumented immigrant try to evade ICE. Have you been briefed on those negotiations?
Well, yes, but it's not anything unusual. 95+% of cases do resolve by way of some plea agreement, short of trial. So it's just the normal process. It's kind of spun into something that I think it's not. Of course, the government will make some offer for resolution of the case. Judge Dugan has maintained her innocence as to the charges and has not agreed to anything in any plea negotiations. So the next time anybody's going to be saying anything about it is if a plea agreement is reached. If it's not, well, we'll head to trial. So no, there won't be comments outside of court. We don't want to try our cases in the media or in the court of public opinion. We need to, if we can resolve it reasonably before trial in a way that's agreeable to everyone involved, that's genuinely a good thing. If it can't, though, we need to make sure we come in with a jury that's not tainted by too much pretrial publicity. So, no, we're very careful about talking about actually not talking about anything that might be going on behind the scenes. Don't do it.
If she's convicted, based on what you and everybody who reads the newspaper and listens to the radio knows about the case, is she suitable to remain a judge if she's convicted of these serious allegations?
I can't comment on that. That's something for someone other than the United States Attorney's Office to decide.
How important do you think it is for politics to stay out of the courtroom?
Critical. It's just, frankly, for a while now, I think we've been seeing an erosion in public confidence in many things, elections, the criminal justice system, all of us that are involved in public service, and I think in the media, you can rely on these things. And we need to work hard to restore those things. They're foundational to our republic.
Former Attorney General Brad Schimel is with us on WTMJ. In that Supreme Court race that you were in, Brad, it was the most costly judicial race in U.S. history. Is money too big a factor in our races?
Yes. I mean, when we came into that race, I had no idea that the money could get to that. We had seen the race in 2023 that got up north of 50 million. We just didn't imagine it could possibly get to the north of 100 million. That is a national record ever. And, I tell you, I feel kind of like Brett Favre with the interception record. It's not a record you really want to have. I'm not thrilled about this. I wish it didn't happen that way. I wish that voters hadn't been bombarded with so many ads and things, because frankly, I think it makes their heads spin, and it takes away from focusing on the real issues, focusing on the real character of the candidates, because they're just hit with ads, with commercials that get hyped up to say anything, any message they want to portray on both sides. I hope that we're not going to see that happen again.
Brad Schimel is with us.
I hope I hang on to that stupid record, I guess.
You are the record holder right now. Whether it's the Hannah Dugan case or other cases, the spotlight's going to be on you the next 4 months. You alluded to this. You'd like for this position to become permanent. People in our congressional delegation and in Washington will be watching these next 4 months. With all that said, do you feel pressure to make sure that things go a certain way, that things are handled a certain way, whether it's the Dugan case or other cases that'll be in front of your office?
I've stepped into an office that has a tremendous reputation. They act with integrity, professionalism. We're gonna work to prioritize going after the bad guys, but that's what they've done here. We're seeing more referrals coming in from federal law enforcement agencies because they've changed their investigative focus, and that a lot drives what prosecutors do, whether they're in the DA's office or the U.S. Attorney's office. What law enforcement is referring in kind of drives your work. So I think we're going to see increased workload from that, and I think the team here is ready to do it. We've got really, really good attorneys. This is very similar in a way to when I was at Wisconsin Department of Justice. We were able to cherry pick from DA's offices, for instance, really good prosecutors and grab them over to DOJ because I could attract them with better money and a little more prestige in the cases they were going to handle. It's the same thing here. So they have, over the years, attracted some really top-notch attorneys that know their stuff. And, there's the old adage, making a federal case of something, that you see once you get in this office, you see what that means, because nothing here is simple. Every case is complex. Every case is labor-intensive, and this is a great team. I'm excited to be part of this. Whether it's 4 months or hopefully more like 3 years, I'm going to dig in and try to make sure we're fired up and we get the job done every day.
Brad Schimel is the interim U.S. Attorney for Eastern Wisconsin. We always appreciate the time, Brad. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.